Good afternoon, friends. Thank you for joining Miss Monique here for another storytime video here on my channel. I just wanted to give a little disclaimer to the feedback that I've been getting. Just thank you so much for reaching out and giving me those positive vibes to continue to do this. As you know, the exposure to early literacy in the earlier years from 0 to 3 are exponentially very important. So I do encourage you to engage with your littles through stories, whether they're made up, whether they're through storybooks, even if they do not have the full attention span to adhere to the whole story, that you talk about the pictures, you talk about their interest, labeling objectives that they know, common objects. So like if they know a ball in the story, if they know a dog in the story, that you're talking about the objects in the book, to help bring an awareness to common objects in the world. In addition to doing that, you want to talk about relative life experiences. So that means, if there's a dog in the story, oh, look at the dog. We have a dog. Yaya. Yaya's our dog. So making a relative life experience with whatever you're looking at, and just know that you're going to get, especially in the younger children, you're going to get their attention span as long as their age. So if it's longer, great, you've got their interest. But if they only give you 2 minutes and they're 2 years old, very appropriate. So I just want to give that disclaimer before I begin. I know not everybody has the luxury of staying home and adhering to their teacher's schedule time, with their homework and interacting with them. So at the very least, I do highly encourage you to expose them to literacy. Right before bed would be a nice bonding time, getting acclimated to that routine to further expose them to literacy. I think that when it comes to learning, mathematics and literacy are two key components that they really strive for them to kind of keep up on. But honestly, in my experience, I know that we're facilitating to all of our families to just engage with your child, engage with them, spend time with them, quality time without screens. That means you and them, and fostering that connection, because we know that if we have an attachment to children, we are going to, those are relationship building blocks to their early childhood development that we cannot undo. You can never over spend time with your children and your family, especially in their younger years. So I do encourage you to assume that position and just start that little tradition with yourself, if it's doable. And if you don't have access to a lot of storybooks, then, either tell stories yourself or find things that you like to do together. I think that I had a professor one time share with me, if you don't have a connection, you don't have a correction. Right now, especially in the primary years of their growth, you are their authoritative person, which means that you're the person that is their disciplinary, you're the person that they look up to set the tone for the rest of their lives. So I just want to re-encourage you to know your importance in the life of early children, in the life of all children, but in the life of your children, especially early childhood. You have a position that I just want to remind you of, that is of extreme importance and of influence. Good afternoon, boys and girls. I hope that you are ready for today's story. Are you ready? I'm going to sing my little song and then we will begin. Open, shut them, open, shut them. Give a little clap, clap, clap. Open, shut them, open, shut them. Lay them on your lap. Wherever you're at, make sure that you're nice and comfy and ready to listen. Good listeners, boys and girls, listen to the story. They have their eyes on the speaker, and usually you keep your hands to yourself. So that means you want to show me that you can do those things so that when you return to school, you are nice and ready. Boys and girls, this book is called What to Do with a Box. I encourage you to get some inspiration from this book and see what you can create with a box that you find in your home. What to Do with a Box by Jane Jolene and Chris Sheben. Looking at the cover, I think that these two are going to get creative and do some pretty fun things with the box that they find around in their home. This book, boys and girls, is set up a little bit differently. So if you see the pages kind of flip-flop differently than a regular book, you'll see why at the end. What to do with a box. You can open it once. You can open it twice. So there they are trying to figure out what to do with this box. So come for a visit right now, right this day. I've got a grand box just so we two can play. So there they are, planning what they're going to do with it. Do you ever plan things with your friends? You can lock the door with a magical key. Invite your dolls to come in for tea. And here they are, having a tea party with this box. You can drive in that box all around the dirt track. You can sail in that box off to parts and back. So they're using their imagination, boys and girls, to decide how they will play. A box is a wonderful tool indeed. The only such magic that you'll ever need. So I like that they are using their imagination and they are deciding that they can use this box in many different ways. You can paint a landscape with the sun, sand, and the sky, or crayon an egret that's flying right by. So you can make art with your box. It can be a library, palace, or nook. You can climb inside there and read a book. So it can be whatever you would like it to be, boys and girls. A box. A box is a strange device. The end. And it says this is up. And I'm sorry, I know it's a little disposition here, but this is why, boys and girls. Are you ready? So this book is really cute. It actually forms a box itself. So this is actually one of my favorite books. I think it's so different, so cute. This book turns into a box. One of my favorites. I definitely had to share it with you guys. So now comes the fun part. So I'm going to propose a challenge here for all of my little friends. If you would like, ask your adult person if they can find a box around and you show me what you do with your box. Whether you paint in it, whether you use it as a reading nook, whether you use it in imaginative play, whether you paint on it, whether you take it outside and pretend to sail the seas. Whatever you do with this box, get creative and have your adult person send a picture to me on my social media to be featured on my Instagram. So I hope you have fun creating. Enjoy the inspiration that I've given you, and I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. All right, guys, have a great evening. Bye-bye. I had one more thought. I did get a request to do Spanish songs or Spanish stories or anything associated with the Spanish language. Just want to make a disclaimer that I am working on something for you. I do have a book with little multicultural songs. So I am going to do that at some point. I know that you guys requested it. And just to give a disclaimer, my Spanish is, un poquito no formal, but I get the message across and I can communicate. So I'm going to try to the best of my ability to put something together for you guys. While I'm thinking about it, I just wanted to share that the focus of early childhood education is a couple of objectives. So we focus on page turning, so turning the pages of a book. We practice turning the pages of the book one by one, turning the book upside, and also identifying objects within the book, as I mentioned. So those are some key components when it comes to literacy. We don't necessarily focus in early childhood about the words just yet, but identifying the objects, connecting real life experiences, and like I mentioned, learning how to hold the book upright and turn the pages with their little hands. So hopefully this is helpful. I did also want to share that if you are connected with Barnes and Noble and you're an educator, or you work with schools, they have an educator program so that you're able to sign up for it and get discounted books with their organization. Also, if you wanted to expose yourselves to more literacy for your littles, that there is a Dolly Parton Imaginary Library program for books for children, I believe up to 4 or 5 years old. You just have to sign up for it and see where your local school district is associated with that. And I believe if you are eligible, you can sign up for that. And I think that's all I got for right now. So, hope you guys have a good evening. Thank you so much for staying tuned, and I will see you next time.